We flow to the puck here. We call this Rimo's loop. So we run some dip. We go D to D, center supporting. We're skating onto it in the weak side right here. What we like our D when we do, whatever we're going to face, especially if it's a one-man forecheck, if it's two, you really can't. But if we go D to D or you bring it up yourself, we look for our D to attack that seam. Take the puck, take 2 steps into the seam between what would be your F1 and your F2, because it does open up some lanes. So D to D and attack the seam. We call this Rimo's loop because when I worked for years for Ron Wilson in Anaheim and Washington, we had a drill we called Rimo's loop. It's named after the great Finnish international player Raimo Helminen. So it maintained the drill, and now it's actually our practice drill. So we call it Rimo's loop. It's away from the puck, and it sets up if we hinge it or if we look to make a seam pass or a flat pass, which is what we do right here. We'd like it to come a little bit deeper. We try to teach it where you come back deeper through the top of the circles, you have a little bit better depth, and you generate more speed. But this is what it looks like. 2 guys flow into it, Rimo's loop, and kick it out to the outside and attack with speed. And again, we look like we got some room off the rush. Cut it. And this is going to build what we'll do as well. It's kind of a line change, but we'll swing away from the puck as well. It's kind of Rimo's loop, but we'll have a little exchange. And we'll swing deep away from it, and we'll have, say, that forward that's on the weak side, fill the middle. And then again, our strong side winger could skate onto it, or he could come up here and post up. And you see we're coming off the bench, so it kind of sets up like a swing away, but we're looking to get it into the middle. And again, generate some speed in our transition. We go here, you're going to see D to D. So the swing away often works as our D makes a D to D pass, we swing away from the direction of the pass. So say in this case, Sammy Walker, our center, he's going to swing to the outside. And then we want our board winger now to come in underneath. And then this winger has the opportunity now that's going to become the strong side winger. He could skate onto it, or he could begin to post up, depending on what we're seeing in a particular forecheck. There's your D to D pass. There's your swing away. So we've got a swing here. That's Stephen Fogarty. We got Sam Walker coming, and you can look, his route is going to try to mirror that half moon. And this kicks out to Becky here. We kick it out to Becky, kind of skated onto it, and then began to post up. And they've got some numbers back, but because now you see Stephen Fogarty, who swung here and starts to come back to it. Now we create some space in transition, make a little play in behind their D. We look to make a quick up. Really good job here by the Grand Rapids F2. He cuts it. So now we go D to D, and here's the swing away. So we swing. We come in here to fill the middle. We get it. You can see as we get this pass, we look to attack the seam between the F1 and the F2. The F3 is going to come up through the middle and try and fill the middle, and it opens up the seam pass or the flat pass. What we work on with our forwards, though, is you can see here, Kevin Conley, our wingers, when they make the swing away, they have a tendency to get too high. We want them in here to skate that half moon and be available as well. So in this case, if we were more in the middle like that, we could have an option to the middle or the flat pass. It might commit that F3, make him commit, may open up more ice, and maybe not make this pass quite as difficult as it could be. It's really good play, but he almost got a stick on it. But we make a good play. Now you can see everybody's coming back to it. We're trying to work this 1D on our entry to try to create some odd numbered rushes, even though it's even. It's a 3-on-3, trying to break it down into a 2-on-1. And then this is kind of those Tarasov routes we were talking about. And what we do is, in this case, it gets bottled around, and then it's going to go D to D. So this is what we call Val's loop. Okay. After the great Russian Valery Karmelov, we will just extend it, and then we'll try to stretch. And then these 2 guys will just move with the puck, with one guy filling the strong side and one guy filling the middle. We call these our Tarasov options. And you can see here, we get a little bit of depth. So Mason Shaw is going to fill the middle. It's a little bit broken, but it's the motion we want. You can see Kyle Rouse trying to come into this area. And then Connor Dewar skates Bell's loop, which we call a stretch. And he pulls people with him. And we got some space underneath. We could actually hinge this right now and maybe send it up here to Connor, who'd be skating onto it. But again, we create some space, we tip it in. And again, we're not always going to be able to make plays off the rush, but it will allow us to play with pace and get the puck 200 feet, or in this case, 130 feet, and then we can get in our forecheck.